Hi, good evening to you, and thanks for joining us on Express Update. My name is Annabelle Beverly Jabia. Coming up in the next few minutes, President Mahama secures $300 million World Bank facility to upgrade 50 SHS and eliminate double track system by 2027. Also coming up, government moves to safeguard livelihoods of small-scale fishers through law and enforcement. This and other stories coming up shortly. Do stay with us. We begin with our very first story, where government has secured a $300 million facility from the World Bank to upgrade 50 senior high schools nationwide under the Transformative Secondary Education for Access, Results and Relevance for Jobs (STARJ) project. Now, the initiative announced by the President John Dramani Mahama forms part of efforts to improve access and quality in secondary education and ultimately end double-track system by the year 2027.
Speaking at the commissioning of a PET scan facility at the Shredes Ghana Medical Center, President John Dramani Mahama said the STARJ project would upgrade 30 Category C senior high schools to Category B, while 20 Category B schools would be elevated to Category A. He added that more E-block community day schools would be built in urban and pre-urban areas to reduce the pressure on boarding facilities and improve access to secondary education. President Mahama further noted that the initiative would also enhance teaching and learning, especially in technical and vocational education.
We'll begin with our very next story, where government says it remains committed to protecting the rights and livelihoods of rural fishers to support the growth of Ghana's aquaculture industry. Speaking at a meeting with the United Nations Working Group on the Rights of Peasants and Rural Workers, the Director of Administration at the Ministry of Fisheries, Rosemary Abbey, highlighted the newly enacted Fisheries and Aquaculture Act 2025 as a key measure in tackling illegal fishing practices. She said the law prohibits destructive fishing methods and promotes sustainable marine management while increasing community participation in decision-making. Now, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare has convened a meeting with stakeholders in the rubber industry to discuss government's recent ban on raw rubber exports. The gathering, which included Rubber Farmers Association representatives and officials from the Ghana Revenue Authority, aims to address challenges in the sector, particularly concerns over raw rubber pricing. Now, in her remarks, the minister emphasized government's commitment to local processing and manufacturing as part of its industrialization effort. She urged stakeholders to comply with the export ban and assured them that the ministry would collaborate with relevant agencies to address issues in the rubber value chain. In our last story, the Ghana Police Service has arrested Lucinda Naomi Ochere, a birthing specialist in charge of the maternity and labor ward at Trust Mother and Child Hospital in Osu, over her involvement in a child trafficking investigation. Lucinda Ochere is accused of paying 20,000 Ghana cedis to a woman identified as Janet Labi for the trafficking of a 7-year-old girl and an additional payment of 35,000 Ghana cedis for the transfer of another 5-year-old girl to a couple in Pokwase.
Police rescued 2 child trafficking victims and appealed for the return of a missing 5-year-old girl. The Ghana Police Service has arrested an additional suspect in connection with an ongoing child trafficking investigation that has already led to the rescue of 2 child victims. The latest suspect, identified as Lucinda Naomi Ochere, a midwife in charge of the maternity and labor ward at Trust Mother and Child Hospital at Osu, has been arrested for her involvement in the trafficking network. Preliminary investigations indicate that suspect Lucinda Naomi Ochere received the missing 7-year-old girl from suspect Janet Labi and reportedly paid an amount of 20,000 Ghana cedis to facilitate the transaction. Investigations further revealed that the suspect also allegedly gave an additional 35,000 Ghana cedis to Janet Labi and instructed her to send another victim, a 5-year-old girl, to a couple residing at Pokwase. The police have gathered intelligence suggesting that the syndicates have been involved in child trafficking activities for a considerable period. This development follows an earlier operation by the Central East Regional Police Command in which 6 suspects, namely Grace Osei Efiye, Regina Ejewa, Janet Labi, Mary Doche, Yvonne Chumesi, and Sekina Umar, were arrested in connection with child trafficking and child stealing offenses. The initial investigations began after the Kaswa Divisional Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit (DOVSU) received a complaint on 10 April 2026 regarding the disappearance of 7-year-old Khadija Karim at Kaswa in the Central Region. Investigations established that the victim had allegedly been lured by suspects Janet Labi and Sekina Umar under the pretext of taking her to see her biological mother. She was later taken to an undisclosed location and kept in the custody of another woman before being returned to Kaswa and warned not to disclose the incident. Further investigations subsequently linked the suspects to another child theft case involving a 10-month-old infant and a 5-year-old girl who were taken from their mother under the pretext of caring for them. The 10-month-old infant was later traced to the Ashanti region, where the child had allegedly been sold to suspects Grace Osei Efiye and Regina Ejewa for 35,000 Ghana cedis. Police investigations led to the successful rescue and reunification of the 10-month-old infant with the parents. Khadija Karim has also been rescued safely. However, the 5-year-old girl believed to have been sent to Pokwase is yet to be rescued. The Ghana Police Service is therefore appealing to the couple holding the child in their custody at Pokwase near Eja Herbal to voluntarily hand over the child to the nearest police station or contact the police immediately to assist ongoing investigations. So far, 5 suspects are on remand, with Grace Osei Efiye on court bail. The next court date is on Wednesday, 13th May 2026 at the Ofakor Circuit Court. Meanwhile, efforts are underway to apprehend all remaining accomplices connected to the syndicates. Members of the public with information about any suspects still at large are encouraged to contact the nearest police station or call the emergency numbers 191 or 112. All information received will be treated with the strictest confidence.
And this has been Express Update on Clock TV. My name is Annabelle Bevin Ejibia. Thanks for staying with us.